What happens in Georgia gets revealed one by one as the facts are unsealed. From the pit comes what they don't want you to see, when the daily nugget of truth is dropped with your host, BKP.
All right, folks. I'm trying to get used to this, producing the show by myself, but I can power through. I'm your host, BKP. How are you today? Just a couple things. Excuse me. Started last week producing these spots, and I'm getting used to it. My pictures are over here now. I absolutely, yes. And I know you do also. I miss Diane. She is doing well. She has a wonderful family. They're beautiful people, and I do miss her. But I have all the numbers. You're used to me saying, give me number 4, whatever. And then I have the production going over here, and coordination, very important. My biggest thing, BKP, your host here, my biggest thing is having to remember this mouse goes here, and this mouse goes here. That's one of my biggest challenges. All right, folks, every day we're putting up a post. Today, wow. And we're focusing on Georgia, staying focused on Georgia because the midterms are coming up, and I'm going to ask a couple questions today. Could Donald Trump, could the Republicans lose the midterms in March, not waiting for November? Could the tea leaves show the midterms gone for Republicans, or is this a preview for Republicans going into the midterms right here in the 14th District of Georgia? And we're going to do a step-by-step what is really going on in the 14th District of Georgia. Because Marjorie Taylor Greene, remember her? She said, not so fast. Hold my beer. Yes, MTG has weighed into the race. Wow, we got a lot going on there. Now, I'm going to ask a question today because we're going to do probably a couple segments today. I want to stay focused on the 14th District of Georgia. But I want to ask you a question. Are Democrats in Georgia, are Democrats already running the state? Now, what I mean by that is I'm going to show you some things today. Everything on the show, right? I show my work, right? I'm like a great math problem. I show my work. I have my pencils. I do the long division. I show my work. Anyhow, are Democrats. Now, there is a concern a Democrat could win the governor's race in Georgia. There is a concern that Democrats could tighten up on Republican majority in the state House and state Senate, if not take over one of those chambers. It's a very big concern. And I asked this question, I'll get to it in just a minute. I asked this question because there's some things going on, political stunts. You know me by now. I will not carry a politician's water, can't stand political stunts, and I'm probably the only one in the state that calls out certain things. Yes, it's important. Fulton County, the ballots, the corruption, very important. We have great people working on that. It's important to follow some of the legislation down there, but some of the biggest scams and stunts being pulled are actually giving the most power to Democrats. I know. Tell me what you mean, BKP. I just want to share this with you. Nugget of truth. Nugget of truth. Where did I come up with that? I'll explain that at a different time. We got a lot to do today. I'm your host, BKP. Now, don't forget Substack, Vora, Vora, Voice of Rural America, Vora at BKP Politics on Substack. Follow our Substack. Voice of Rural America YouTube channel. Voice of Rural America Rumble channel. Voice of Rural America Facebook page. And Voice of Rural America on X. We post all these videos there. And we upload everything to our Rumble channel. So if you missed yesterday, day before, you want to go back, and look at it, you can go to our Rumble channel, Voice of Rural America. And let me just say this. How many times? I find myself, I get caught on things. Let me just say this. Next week, we'll start putting some clips up. Different clips. So, that being said, let's get right in to a couple things. Now, before we... Let me just... Sorry about that. What did I have there? Where's it at? Oh, there we go. Sorry. There we go. I could care less about Bad Bunny. I could care less about the Super Bowl halftime show. Now, many people are asking, I did switch over and watch Turning Point USA and Charlie's Kids over there, but not because it was Turning Point USA or not because it was America's halftime show, just because what are they doing? All right, so for those that asked, but no, I don't care about Bad Bunny. There's too many things going on in the world. Right here. Now, there's several pieces of legislation. Now, the federal judge, I think today they're going to unseal the warrant, the affidavit for the warrant to get the ballots, the 2020 ballots in Fulton County. I love this little graphic. Hey, where are you going? Where are you going? I'm going to Georgia. I'm going to teach them how to count. So, yes, keep an eye on what's happening there. That's moving. Now, here, let me explain what I'm talking about. Democrats. Now, I'm concerned that a couple things here. I'm concerned that Democrats are already running the state of Georgia. I told you when the legislative session started, beware. I said, beware of what? The backroom deals, the stunts, everything that's going to take place here. Now, Burt Jones is campaigning on cutting your state income tax. They're campaigning on cutting your homestead property tax. I call this the greatest tax scam of 2026 by Georgia state legislators. And here's one problem with this. And I'll go into some detail on another show because I really want to talk about the 14th district today. But here's one particular problem with this. Some of these things that they're doing right now will be time release capsules that will develop. And you will, as usual, the people will say, when did that happen? 2026, when they were pulling off scams so they could have election campaign material. Have you noticed? Here's what I don't like where Republicans are at right now. I ain't too proud to beg. Republicans are begging. I'm serious. I'm going to show you one example. But they are begging right now. And I call it the Great Awakening. Like, I look at some of these people. I'm going to show you one legislator. And one reason I'm going to show you why I bring up this state senator so often is because now everywhere I look, TikTok, Facebook, X, this TV program, that TV program, I'm a scam, you're a scam, anywhere I can discuss the scam, he's on there. That's why I bring this up. And I call it the Great Awakening. Like, isn't it amazing that Georgia legislators, the Republicans, are woke? They're woke. Like property taxes. When did that happen? State income taxes. When did that happen? Corporate tax giveaways. Credits. Big corporate tax credits. When did that happen? Right? Corporations owning like 23% of the housing or single-family homes in the Atlanta market. When did that happen? Data centers. Tax credits for data centers. Why? When did that happen? You know, right? It's the Great Awakening. It's amazing what has caught their attention in 2026. That's the reason I bring it up. I'm like, where have you been? So what I have on the screen here today, now the Great Georgia Property / Income Tax Scam of 2026. I'm concerned that Democrats are actually running the Georgia State Legislature as we speak. Now this, when I use the word fact, I know of what I speak, right? Fact. Here's the fact. Fact. I know the Democrat leadership is sitting in the Republican leadership office as we speak, working every day, negotiating and making deals. And the Republicans are the ones making deals with the Democrats because they have to have them. You see, anytime you change the way you collect tax or the tax structure in Georgia, it has to be by constitutional amendment. Right? So what you have, I asked AI the question. As you can see, the question I asked, yes. We start with yes. Yes, that is correct. To place a legislatively referred constitutional amendment on the ballot in Georgia, the proposal must be approved by 2/3 majority. Vote by both state House representatives and state Senate. Legislative vote, a minimum of 120 votes in the House and 38 votes in the Senate are required. You got it? A supermajority. What do we have? 99, 98? I think in the state House they need 21 Democrats. 21 Democrats. So the property tax legislation and the state income tax legislation that Blake Tillery's putting out and bragging about, Democrats are driving the day. Well, it's just property tax. Oh, no. Democrat leadership is going into Republicans, and Republicans are saying, and I'm paraphrasing here, I'm just giving you a good example. Republicans are saying, now what do we got to do, Mr. Democrat, to get you on board to cut property tax for the hard-working Georgians out there? What do we got to do, Democrats? Democrats are saying, well, you know that bill over here? You know that election bill over here? You know that bill over there? That's got nothing to do with it, Mr. Democrat. Now, don't you go bringing up something that's got absolutely nothing to do with these taxes, because we're trying to help the good people of Georgia. I don't know what I'm doing there. I have no idea where that came from. But let's move on, right? Plow forward, right? Mr. Democrat. Now, you know good and well, Mr. Democrat, we Republicans down here in Georgia, hard-working Georgians, right? Democrats say, well, we get it, but you see, there's still that bill over there, and there's still that bill over there, and there's still... I am very, very concerned, and I look you in the eye as I always do every day. I'm very, very concerned that Democrats are already running the state of Georgia, especially when it comes to under the gold dome. Republicans don't want to tell you that because, see, they have to be nice. They're down there at the elevator. Hey, good morning, Mr. Democrat. Now, what floor are you going to? I'll push a button for you. Yeah, Mr. Hey, Mr. Democrat, let me get those bags for you. I'll carry your briefcase in. Absolutely. I don't care how mad people get at me right now. That's what's happening. Because you see, the two things they're promising, property tax relief and state income tax relief, cannot be done without a supermajority, and I think that means 21 Democrats just in the House alone. Supermajority Senate, the Republicans don't have it, and supermajority in the House. Now, if they get a supermajority on either of those bills that they're crafting right now, you better read them. You better read those bills. So if they get a supermajority on either one of those bills, okay, that goes straight to the ballot for the voters. The governor does not get an opportunity to veto. These are ballot initiatives for constitutional amendments. And again, they can't change your property tax and they can't change your income tax without a constitutional amendment. The governor cannot veto that. It goes straight to the ballot for the people. Now, all the other legislation out there that they're negotiating with Democrats, Brian Kemp still has a red pen. And everything, I mean everything that you are looking at under the Gold Dome with legislation, keep in mind every last bit of it still has to go through Brian Kemp's desk. And what will Brian Kemp do? So, I'm telling you right now. So, here is Greg the Weasel Dolezal. He's a state senator. He's running for lieutenant governor. And the reason I keep bringing him up, here he is with Rob Pitts, right? Here he is with Rob Pitts, Fulton County Commission Chair, that may be indicted soon, but there he is with his friend in Fulton County. And here he is with his friend, right, Burt Jones, right there, Greg the Weasel Dolezal and his friend Burt Jones, lieutenant governor, running for governor. I told you earlier, the reason I really focus on this guy is he is the guy that's pulling every stunt he can as though, boom, he just woke up. What do you mean we gave all these tax credits to these data centers? What do you mean property tax has exploded and is out of hand? What do you mean the 2020 election, they have double scanned ballots and 10,000 people are registered to vote at the same address? What do you mean that our state income tax is so high? I mean, it's like he just woke up. That's what gets me. That's what gets me. Every single thing that they are political stunning right now, like an Olympic event, could have been done last year. Could have been done the year before last. Could have been done before the year before last. Because see, all those tax credits that they gave corporations came through Brian Kemp. And here's what they want you to believe, and it may happen. They want you to believe that they're going to suck in Kia, Rivian, SK Battery, Korea, the motherland? I don't think so. They want you to believe that they're going to go after their tax credits, and that's how they're going to balance the books and exempt you from state income tax. Well, I'll tell you what, didn't work in Tennessee, because Tennessee's like, what, 11%? You have to have a consumption tax to do this, and they know it. The stunt of all stunts. Republicans are begging. Now, and I tell you what, let me just say this. This young man here, all right, this young man right here, let me just say, Caleb Conway, the Georgia Republican Party Executive Director. I hope like hell he can handle what he just walked into. And he came from Washington, D.C., from the National Chamber of Commerce, all right? Now, a couple more things in this segment here. Don't forget, we have a special election. Vote Steve McNeil, Republican runoff election, February 17th. Don't forget, this is a special election down in, is it district, let's see, early voting. What district is that? Is that District 18? But that's where John Kennedy, former state senator, resigned to run for lieutenant governor. Another one of those jungle primaries. Now he's up against a Democrat, which Democrats think they can win. All right. And I'm going to show you this before we end this segment here. All right. Rick Jackson running for governor. Rick Jackson running for governor. I received the first mailer yesterday. He's got Donald Trump's picture on the front there. Now, he's not endorsed by Donald Trump, but Burt Jones' very first campaign ad that I watched on WSB yesterday as I was watching some other top stories, okay, this guy in 2 hours from 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock, NewsHour, WSB, I bet you his commercial ran 8 times. Burt Jones ran once an hour. But Burt Jones's first commercial that he's running, that he bought airtime, is having to remind you that he is the Donald Trump endorsed candidate. All right, yes, absolutely. And then here's the backside of it, talking about his foster home, okay, growing up in a foster home. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you this one right here. Don't forget, anytime someone says they're endorsed by Donald Trump, Lindsey Graham, he endorsed Lindsey Graham. Don't forget that. And one more here. No, we're not moving on from the Epstein files. We're not. We're absolutely not. Nope, not going to do it. Let me see what else I want to get in this segment, because I just decided I'm going to turn this into 3 segments today. The Georgia, let's go here. Give me this one here. Let's see. Now, the Georgia State Senate District 51, currently held by Steve Gooch, who is running for lieutenant governor. So Will Wade is currently Georgia State House Representative in District 8. I think that's over there, Dawson County, Lumpkin County, District 8. Will Wade is stepping up and running for Senate District 51. Now, he put this graphic out. About a month ago, and he had Pickens, Dawson, Gilmer, Lumpkin, Union, Fannin, and White County, all 7 sheriffs that the district covers endorsing him. But hold on. Right here. Number 42. Happy to share the news. Philip is former prosecutor, assistant district attorney. Now, this is Stacy Nicholson, who has removed his name from the endorsement sheet of Will Wade, and he's moved it over to Philip Milam, who is running for state senate. So there's a major challenge for District 51 coming up. And our stunt of the day, we always have to have a stunt of the day, is right here. Now, this guy right here, he is our insurance commissioner, and his name's John King. Okay? Republicans are begging for you to pay attention to them in this election cycle in Georgia. They're like, it's almost like, we're sorry. Don't hold it against us. We're sorry. I'm serious. So John King, remember, John King announced he was going to run for Senate for about 3 weeks when he could not get the support of Brian Kemp. He then said, well, I guess I'll stay your insurance commissioner here in Georgia. Now, this morning, he puts out a post, says, today I'm announcing that Allstate is cutting rates for Georgia drivers by 5%. That's going to mean millions in savings for families here, and it follows 3 other providers announcing rate cuts in the last few months. John, you've been there for 4 years. It's your 4th year. Not counting John. So now you're getting a 5% cut? Now? Okay. That's great. Here's another one. Richard Wood, 38. Here we go. I'll give you this one. Common Core. This is Richard Wood. Now, Richard Wood is our state school superintendent. He's begging you to keep him. Richard Wood, 2026. Now, how do you say that? Reading, writing, and arithmetic. We're behind reading proficiency, right? Math, reading. This guy's been there, 8 years now? We're behind Mississippi in reading. So this is this guy's campaign. He got rid of Common Core. What? And he's putting back cursive writing. Oh, okay. Why'd you take it out? Why do you have to put it back? Here's one I love. Right here. I mean, Republicans begging you in Georgia. Give me another chance, man. I know I could get it right this time. You can trust me. Number 39 there, Richard Wood, school superintendent, Woods with an S. Real results, funding and training school level literacy coaches for struggling elementary schools. I thought we called them teachers. I thought they're teachers. Literacy coaches for struggling elementary schools. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why this is now literacy coaches and the desperation here. It's because ESL, do you know what ESL means? Right? ESL means English Second Language. English Second Language. Your school systems, go look for yourself. Don't trust me. Go to your Board of Education. Your school systems have focused in the last 8 years, 4 years, 6 years, or especially since Biden came in, and we have millions of illegals in the state that by law you got to put them in school. The Constitution says you got to put them in school. Your schools are jam-packed with illegals, right? Let ICE pull up to a kindergarten class. Woo! Wow, that'd be a rough day. But the fact is, you've been busy funding. You could have literacy coaches already, more teachers, reading teachers in the state of Georgia, but you're funding and focusing on sports complexes, school security. Now, wait a minute. I did not say I don't want schools to be secure. I just think some of the companies that have gotten the contracts made some pretty good money. We'll leave it there. So your school system has been focusing on East Blast, building, bus garages, amphitheaters, football fields, artificial turf, training centers, English as second language teachers, school safety. Now, come to think of it, we could use a literacy coach. Oh, people are going to be so angry at me. Keep in mind, Republicans have been in charge, 20 years now in Georgia? Here's number 40. Richard Wood, we must not only extend but expand return to work, which allows retired Georgia educators. This is a subject for another day. Retired Georgia educators can go back to work, and the income they bring in from going back to work does not affect their retirement that they're receiving or anything else. That's right. Just saying. So Richard Wood, school superintendent, is begging, please take me back. Republicans are down there under the Gold Dome, behind closed doors, making deals with Democrats, right? Wow. So I have 2 other stories today, and what I'm going to do is end this recording and put this up, because I already have like 40 minutes into this one, and this is a standalone. We're going to come back today, and we're going to get the 14th District, what's really going on in the 14th District, and Marjorie Taylor Greene getting involved, and we're going to also have a full update on First Liberty Building and Loan, the Frost family, the $140 million Ponzi scheme that Republicans cannot get their name off of. There's an update on that. So, folks, don't forget, you can text me, 706-889. You can text me, 706-889-3682. You can also, let's see, what did I say? Text me, 706-889-9700. That's the text number for the show. 706-889-9700. You can text me. You can email me, bkp@bkppolitics.com. Go to our Substack. And follow Voice of Rural America, Vora, VORA, at BKP Politics. Rumble, Voice of Rural America. YouTube, Voice of Rural America. Facebook, Voice of Rural America. And X, Voice of Rural America. So I'm going to get this segment up. Then I'm going to come back with the MTG 14th District segment. And then the First Liberty Building and Loan segment. All today.